I'm very pleased to be joined by Sydney. Sydney is from B2 Gold. Sydney, firstly, thank you very much for making the time. I know you guys are very busy making the time to come visit us today. Sydney, I think just from the presentations and so on that we've had this morning, you've seen that, and I know you're not a newcomer to the drone technology and all of those kind of things. And so I want to chat about that a little bit. Before we get into that, I'm wondering if you can just give us a bit of a background about yourself, how you found yourself at B2 Gold eventually and so on.
Okay. My name is Sydney Shangombe. I'm currently the Chief Surveyor for B2 Gold. I've joined B2 Gold in March 2014 as a senior surveyor, and then I have been senior surveyor for around 4 years until 2018. Towards the end of 2018, I became the chief surveyor, and that is the position I currently have. Mainly, I don't really get into the day-to-day events of the survey part of things. I'm more like keeping my guys in line with what needs to happen, how it needs to happen. I review the quality and then disseminate. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I think seeing that it's yours, also you've employed a drone program on your mind and at your sites and so on. How do you think, for the guys that don't know, how do you think that having drones on site, specifically in the survey environment, how has that sort of changed operations? How has it sped it up and so on?
Before drones, mostly because our KPI is your reconciliation at the end of the day. And normally as surveyors, we used to have like 5 to 6 days of turnaround to give the feedback to the mining guys what they have mined for the month. And since we started using drones back in 2016, towards the end of 2016, 2017, that turnaround time from 5 or 6 days have been cut down to 2 days. And some of the time also even a day and a half, where you have up until the report stage. So today, with today's technology and how it is advanced, if you don't employ, because drone is more like an employee, if you don't employ drones and whatever software that comes with it, you are actually not on the wagon. So I would recommend, if you don't have at this stage, you need to have drone, you need to have training towards drone, you need to have your people licensed, and that is the future. Because we are moving from, like I said before, labor-based approach to automation. So it has helped us a great part in terms of turnaround. So you can see from 5 days to 2.5 days, it's almost 60% that we.
Yeah, so they've obviously been very beneficial. We've learned this morning as well that drones are generating a lot of data, and there's a lot more that one can actually do with the data. In your experience, on your mind, in terms of managing the data, what is the sort of workflows that you guys make use of there in terms of managing the data and storing the data?
Yeah. Now at the stage, we are, like you have said, more have data islands. So that if I need like steel pics, I'll go there and take steel pics, bring it in and disseminate to whoever needs it. If I want to do a flight for the pit for mountain purposes, I'll go there, fly it, process for that, and then most of the images just get stockpiled, and sometimes it takes up space. So at the moment, we don't have like a intelligent usage of the data that we've been collecting. We use it for this purpose, and once it's done, we move on to the next. So what you were presenting about panoramic views actually caught my eye, because now you're looking at having, like, if I call it a database, and then anybody can go into that and look at the history part of things. Because now if I'm sitting here and somebody asks me, at what stage was the mine? Do you have images? Do you have something that can show me how you have progressed in terms of maybe production or environment from the images that you've been collecting? To be honest, I don't have a go-to point to show you to say exactly this, that, and the other, because I use it like purpose-driven approach.
Yeah, so I think it's important to say that, the technology from a drone point of view has advanced so much, but we sort of need to close the loop, and the processing and data side also needs to now comply to that, so that everything is sped up, and like you say, the big thing, data sharing, everybody needs to see the same information.
Exactly.
Going back to your specific sites and so on, and you've seen how drone technology has improved, what sort of technological advancements do you see for the future, or do you think is required in the future to improve specifically the survey environment?
The good thing about, not only drones, the good thing about, and these things are so integrated, you start maybe with drones, but the next step needs you something else. The good thing is that you are moving away from, if I call it analog-based approach to digital approach.
Yeah.
So not only savvy part of things, you also, what you have mentioned, the digital twinning, machine learning, and all that integrates into, one big value addition for the company. So you will have images, you will have your month ends and all that you do, but then you also have other sectors of mining like HSE that you save. And not to dwell off the point, currently we have now employed, we are busy with rehabilitation. We rehabilitate as we go. We have employed a fixed wing drone with a payload that is multispectral.
Yes.
So we look at things like, your crop health,
Yeah.
once you have started putting back the topsoil, the grass that have grown, how healthy are they?
Yeah.
So we monitor such things and then we give it in terms of indices to whoever needs it, especially our HSE.
Yeah.
So it's many sectors that technology comes together and plays a bigger part.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's a very exciting time to be there, and I suppose
Yeah.
we must always just try and stay ahead of the curve because things are
Yeah.
moving so quickly.
Exactly.
Sydney, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. Again, thank
Yeah.
you very much for coming. I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
chat a lot more. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks
Thank you,
for
Koen.
joining us.
Yeah. All right.